Hello friends, welcome to One Trend Teaching. In this particular video, we are going to talk about pointers and arrays, or how to access members of a one-dimensional array using pointers. So the first thing we have to remember is that whenever an array is declared, the compiler is going to allocate a base address, or what do we understand by the word base address? It is nothing but the starting address of the array, or the address at which the first element of the array is stored. Okay, so now say the starting address is 5000. So from 5 at the memory address 5000, the element 2 is stored. And not only that, the compiler also allocates sufficient amount of space so that the other elements of the array can be stored in a contiguous fashion, because we know in array all the elements are stored in contiguous memory locations. This is the first point. The second point is the compiler. It also defines the array name. Here the array name is ARR as a constant pointer to the first element, or we can say that ARR is going to contain the base address of this particular array. Now mind it, it's not ARR of 5 or ARR of something like that. ARR is going to contain the base address of the particular array. So if we consider the following example over here, if we have an integer array containing 5 elements, and if this starting address is 5000, and if I assume that each in this particular compiler, each integer is taking 4 bytes, so the first element is stored at memory location 5000, the second element is stored at memory location 5004, 4 bytes just after that, the third is stored at 5008, fourth and fifth, and so on. So now, as I told you, the array name is nothing but ARR. It is going to store the base address of the array, or it is going to store the address. We are using the ampersand operator over here, ampersand of ARR of 0, or the address at which the first element or the element stored at the 0th index of the array, the address at which it is stored, that is contained in the array name, that is ARR. Next, if we want to have an integer pointer pointing to this particular array, so all I have to do, I simply have to do a very simple assignment. That's it. So if I assume that PTR is an integer pointer, then PTR can be made to point to this particular array using the assignment PTR is equal to ARR. Now that is nothing but PTR is equal to ARR. Now we know ARR stores the base address of the array. So what does PTR contain? It contains nothing but the base address of the array. And once we have the base address of the array, we can access all the other all the elements of the array easily, because we know the starting address of the array. And since all the array elements are stored in a contiguous fashion, so there is no problem at all in order to access all the other elements. So now you may have a question how to access the next element of the array. Now, one important point is the relationship between PTR and ARR, that is this particular array, is as follows. PTR, it is going to contain the base address of the array, PTR plus 1. So if I have the base address as 5000, PTR plus 1, it is going to point to the address where the next element is stored of that particular array. So PTR plus 1 is going to contain ampersand of ARR of 1, or the address at which ARR of 1 is stored. So do not be misguided as if PTR plus 1 is nothing but 5000 plus 1, 5001. No. PTR is going to point to the address where the next array element is stored. So how are we going to calculate the address of an array element stored at a particular index I? So we can use this formula. Address of ARR of I, that is an element stored at the particular index I, is equal to base address plus index, that is I, into scale factor of int. What do we mean by the scale factor of int? It is nothing but the number of bytes an integer variable takes in that particular compiler. Here we have used an integer array, so scale factor of int. If we would have used an array of another type, data type, so scale factor of that particular data type. So if we want to obtain the address of ARR of 3, that is the address of the element at index 3, that is nothing but base address, that is 5000 plus index was 3. We were trying to calculate address of array element at index 3. So 3 into scale factor of int. Here we had assumed in this particular example, the compiler, in this particular compiler, integer variable is going to take 4 bytes. So 3 into 4. So 5000 plus 3 into 4, that is 5012. So the array element at index 3 would be at location 5012. And last thing, in order to access the elements stored in that particular address, we have to use the indirection operator. So ptr plus I, we know that this is going to point to the address where the ith element is stored. So in using the indirection operator before this, it is going to give us nothing but the particular array element stored at that particular address. Now we will come to this particular program. So brief description of the program. So we see we have declared an add integer array over here with 5 elements. Now we have an integer pointer p, and p is initialized with the base address of this particular array. So p is initialized with the base address of this particular array. I is going to keep a track of the indices of the array 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Sum is going to store the sum. So here in this particular while loop, what happens? P, we start from P, that is we start from the base address, and we go up till the address of the last element in this particular array. The last element, since there are 5 elements over here, so we go up till ARR of 4. Okay. And up till the address of the last element, that is ampersand of ARR of 4. So we start from the starting address. Say if the starting address is 5000, and we go up till the address of the last element. And what are we printing over here? We are simply printing the array number, that is the element number. Then we are trying to access the value stored at that particular address using the indirection operator before P. So if P is 5000 or P is pointing to the base address, if we use the indirection operator before P, it is going to give me the value stored at that particular address. So what is the value stored at 5002? So in the first iteration, it is going to return 2. And next, what we are printing, we are simply printing the address of that particular element, the address where that particular element is stored. And here, instead of calculating the sum in a normal way, like we do when we add all the elements of an array, we are using the indirection operator before P. We are using the integer, the pointer variable, in other words, in order to calculate the sum. So in every case, we are using the indirection operator before the pointer variable to capture that particular value, and we are adding it to the previously stored sum. And in every case, we are incrementing the index, and we are also incrementing the pointer. And as we were discussing, every time we increment the pointer with value 1, it immediately goes to the address at which the next array element is stored. Now, next what happens? We are printing the sum, and we are printing the base address of this particular array. So here you are going to get a proof also that really does the array name does the array name really act as a constant pointer to the first element, or does the array name actually store the base address of the array? Because here we have not used ampersand of ARR of 0. What we have used is simply the array name. So we are going to see what does the array name actually store, and also we are going to see where does the pointer variable finally point to. So we are going to run the program. Let's see. Okay. So here, as you can see, in this particular compiler, integer is taking 4 bytes. So each and every element is stored at a gap of 4 bytes and in a contiguous fashion. All right. The sum is as it should have been. Okay. Now, as you can see, the base address stores nothing but this value. Or in other words, ARR is storing nothing but the starting address or the address of the first element of this particular array. And ultimately, the pointer variable p, while the last iteration is going on, it points to the next address, that is the it stores the value after 4 bytes of the last element of the array. So the last element of the array was at a value 2293296. So plus 4, the pointer variable ultimately points to 2293300, and the iteration stops over there, because we know that the loop here is running up till the address of the last element. So this was a simple way how we could access elements of a one-dimensional array using pointers. In the next video, we are going to talk about pointers and two-dimensional arrays. And once you have understood how pointers and one-dimensional arrays work, that is not going to be a problem. So stay tuned with us. Bye-bye.